To order. Roll call, please.
Blackstock. Here. Blair.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Bat Salas.
Here.
Boda.
Here.
Town. Here. Simons.
Here. All present and accounted for. Would you follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving on to the approval of the agenda as presented. Does anybody have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
If there's none, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of June 19, 2017.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of June 19, 2017.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the minutes of June 19. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have the C1, the June 2017 Building Department Report. We have the C2 Quarterly Sheriff Department Report. We have C3 is the 2017 St. Clair County RISA millage rate. We have C4 is the June 20th, 2017 Sewer and Water Authority minutes. C5 is the June 2017 Marine City Fire Report. C6 is the June 1, 2017 Beautification Committee minutes. C7 is the July 5th, 2017 Historical Commission minutes. C8 is the June 2017 Investment Income Report. C9 is the July 6th, 2017 Beautification Committee minutes. And C10 is the June 2017 Revenue and Expenditure Report. The reason the list is so long is that we didn't have a meeting 2 weeks ago. Anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? Evidently, the sheriff must have got tied up. He was going to be here tonight, but he something must have come up.
Caught in traffic.
So if not, a motion to accept the consent agenda would be in order.
I'll make that motion. We accept the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a support to accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to disbursements, we have invoices of $131,263.17. We have an accounts payable of $232,405.36. We have a payroll of $4,113.44. We have a payroll direct deposit of $68,284.86. And we have EFT payments of $45,544.48. And we have a total void checks of a minus $1,578.67, which brings our total disbursement to $480,032.64.
I'll make a motion that we pay disbursements in the amount of $480,032.64.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills in the sum of $480,032.64. Is there any further discussion on the bills?
Yeah, I got a question, Larry. On the first page on the check register, Down a little past halfway, there's something in there for commercial diving and marine services for $12,087.77.
Don't quote me, but I believe that is for the diving on the intake. We had to put a new screen on that,
Okay,
and I think maybe the Sewer and Water Authority can help me here. Wasn't it the wrong size or something?
Something
And
like that, yeah.
They had to do another one?
Yeah, that's what I understood.
I can look it up in the bills if
well,
you
that's
want.
that's what I thought it was for, but.
Yeah,
I
that's the
just-
only thing we use marine divers for.
Yep.
Okay,
On page 3, the very top thing, Jones Equipment Rental for $15,000.
I can answer that.
Okay,
That's our new Kubota utility vehicle that we bought with the St. Clair County Recreation funds this year.
oh, okay, wouldn't that come out of the commission's budget, though? That comes,
no, but that's the name of the company, Angela. It is a rental company. That's not a rental fee.
That's Jones Rental
Right.
Fund.
It does come out of our budget, but she's showing, I think Bryn's showing how she paid the bills.
okay,
Yeah,
It is a
Okay.
rental company is the name of the company, but they
That's
are
a
a Kubota
purchase.
dealer.
right, okay, thank you.
You'll see it in the park, it's very nice. We traded in the vehicle that we had all the trouble with.
Uh-huh,
And
good.
this one will last a very long time.
Okay, is there any other questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Blair,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Pat Salas,
Yes,
Boda,
Yes,
Town, yes. Blackstock,
Yes.
Simons.
Yes, motion carries. We pay the bills. Okay, next we're moving on to new business. Item number 1 is principles of governance. This is something, we've done this in the past. This is, the MTA is asking us to renew this. I can read the principles of government on the back. To maintain the highest standards and traditions of Michigan Township, we embrace these principles to guide our stewardship and deliberations and constitute service as we commit to safeguard our community's health, safety, and general welfare. We pledge, insist on the highest standards of ethnic conduct by all who act on behalf of this township. Bring credit, honor, dignity to our public office through ecological board deliberations and diligence, appropriation response to constitutional constituents' concerns. Actively pursue education and knowledge and embrace best practices. Treat all persons with dignity, respect, and impartiality without prejudice or discrimination. Practice openness and transparency in our decisions and actions. Cooperate with all reasonable ways with our government entities and consider the impact our decisions may have outside of our township borders. Communicate with the public township issues, challenges, and successes, and welcome the active involvement of stakeholders to further the township's well-being. Strive for compliance with all state and federal statutes and requirements. Refuse to participate in any decisions or activities for personal gain at the expense of the best interests of the township. Further the understanding of the obligations and responsibility of American citizenship, democratic government, and freedom. These principles we pledge to our township, state, and government. They're asking us to pass this and then sign it and post it. I believe we have one posted from before. I think it's in the office. So I'll make that motion that we accept the principles of governance.
I'll support.
Is there any further discussion? Everybody understands what it is? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we move on to the sewer credits, MB2. Oops. And I believe that's you, Ms. Robert?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to go to the podium? I'll explain a little bit of what we got here, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Evidently, your sump pump, a water-activated sump pump activated, you didn't know it, and that's where your water went?
Yes, sir.
And you can read, he wrote a detailed letter here. My only concern is talking to our DPW supervisor, nothing to do with you, Bob. There's no sense of him going over there and checking this after it's already been corrected. Our DPW, and this is something I think that we have to change as a township, how we direct these people to go to a problem like yours. First, I think you did the right thing. You called a plumber, and then the plumber found your problem. But in the past, we've been sending our DPW supervisor, who's extremely busy, to diagnose the plumbing problems. And I think the board should make some kind of action that says, if you have an issue like what Bob had here with his plumbing, and then you see that you had a loss of water and you see it didn't go in the sewer, at that time, you should call in our supervisor, our DPW supervisor, and have him look at what you're doing, and then that would reaffirm that that was the problem.
Well,
and you can get your credit.
can I make a note here?
Yeah.
This incident happened like on a weekend, okay?
Right.
And I'm deaf in my left ear, and I couldn't hear any kind of water going on underneath my crawl space or nothing. But I noticed, when I would run the water, there was a absence of water pressure. It kept going down, down, down. It got to the point where I lost function in the toilets even, So I called East China Water Department. I couldn't get no answer, So then I called St. Clair Water Department, and a gentleman there was pretty nice, and I kind of described my situation, and then he said, well, go to the water meter and see if it's spinning around the dial real fast. And I did, and I said, yeah, it's moving really, really fast. So at that point, I didn't think it was me. I thought maybe it was the township working on the water lines or something, But then at that time, when I seen that arrow on that water meter going, it's really clipping around there. I shut the water off,
At the meter?
So, and that stopped it, So then I called my plumber, and he did not get back to me until the following Monday when they fixed the problem, What it is, I have 2 north and south sump pumps, and then 6 months ago, I added water pressure backup as a security measure, in case the pumps fail.
Mm-hmm.
But in this incident, all the pumps failed. There's 4 pumps, 2 water pressure pumps and 2 sump pumps. And that was due to red algae. So it was just packed. When they pulled the pumps out and washed them out, there's no way, it was functional. So
where was the water going then?
Pardon?
Where was the water going that was going through the meter?
It must have been going into my crawl space because they had to pump me out,
Oh, okay. So that's our concern is.
I'm not a plumber. I asked my plumber, well, how does this water pressure backup work? He says, don't ask me, but it works. It just works, Well, evidently this didn't work this time.
Well, they're an injector. As the water goes by, it creates a vacuum and sucks the water out of the pit. That's how they
Okay.
work.
Siphon.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of water to move a little bit of water out of your sump pump.
It's an expensive backup system.
Pardon?
When you need it, it's an expensive backup system
As you can see by the water bill.
instead
Yeah.
of a battery backup.
Yeah.
But
Well,
what
I-
I'm saying, our policy should be not to send our DPW, especially if it's in a house. If there's no visible water outside, our responsibility ends at the stop box out by the road. Your responsibility, and the residents listening, your responsibility is from the stop box in. But we offer a service, if there's water leaking in the yard, we'll come out and look at it, and we shut it off, and if it's on our side, we pay for it. If it's on your side, the resident has to pay for it. But in your case, it was underneath the house. And I think you did everything right. I think you did everything exactly right by calling the plumber. But I'm sorry that you couldn't get a hold of somebody. We usually have a number here.
No, there's an emergency number
Well,
for it to call for the
East
water
China
department.
finally called me back the following Wednesday.
Oh, my God.
and asked me, about the problem, the water pressure problem. I told him I had already called the plumber, he'd been out there, and that they resolved the problem.
The day you saw it happening, you didn't call the emergency number for the water plant.
Pardon?
I said the day that this was happening, you did not place a call to the water plant emergency line, did you?
I called East China Water Department. And
Okay, that has me concerned a little bit.
Me too, yeah.
There's supposed to be someone there to answer that phone for an emergency. If nobody answered, I'd like to know why.
That's what I'm writing down, right? Why we didn't answer it in an emergency.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he say this happened on a weekend?
Correct.
There's an emergency number. no
Right.
matter what
But they
time
have
you call.
7-day coverage on that.
Right.
So
Somebody should have showed up.
Somebody
if I
should
make
research.
can I make another note? My question is, if I call the water department, they don't really fix the problem, right? They just.
Correct, no. Only if it's from that stop box
Yeah.
to the main.
So, I thought, well, I need water,
Right.
I gotta fix this problem. That's why I called the plumber right away.
And that was your problem. That
And then
was,
he couldn't get out there till Monday,
and you did the right thing by shutting the water
Yeah.
off at the main.
So
Turn
what
it
I
on
did
when you
was,
need it,
I shut the water off, stopped that problem, and then when I had to use the toilets, I just turned it on temporarily and then shut it back down,
Right.
until I got the plumber out there.
I think you did a great job. But what I think the question the board is gonna ask here is, and it's the question I asked, and that's how I got involved a little bit more on it. We usually like to have our DPW supervisor look at the situation before we issue a credit, where this was not looked at. See, there's a place on the, you probably don't have the form, but it's inspected by and signed. It's like, I talked to him, and he said, there's no sense in going to your house now. I mean, you've got the bills here that you had it fixed by a plumber. I'm advising the board to give you the credit, the sewer credit, but it's up to the board. I mean, does anybody have any input on this? or-
No, the bill for repair is enough for me on this one.
But I'm just saying, I think we should change our procedure a little bit, tweak it. When there's a high usage, and tell the people that, check with the plumber if it's in your house, if it's not leaking out in the yard, it's probably yours.
Might be a good idea to put that in the letter
Yeah.
that goes out.
I mean, how would we then have our DPW verify it? I mean, again, if we have the homeowner call the plumber and they fix it, they're gonna fix it in every case.
But that's when they should bring in the DPW at that time, when they're fixing it. If they think it went to the, see, if it goes into the sewer, you have to pay for it. But being as though yours went into the crawl space, it didn't go into our sewer system, so we didn't have to expend the money to treat that water. That's why we give you the sewer credit. If it would've went into our sewers, then we wouldn't have gave you the credit. But if it went into the ground, as surface water and absorbed through the ground, well, then we don't have to treat it. So that's why we can give you that credit for that amount of water.
I'm grateful.
Your sump pump, where does it discharge to the sewer?
Pardon?
Your sump pump, does it discharge to the sewer?
No, they're
No.
not supposed to.
No, but I need to ask the question.
Okay.
I have a question. Is the top of this form, was that filled out by Teresa?
I believe it was.
Is there a way that we could put a procedure where she signs off if Blaine doesn't? Because
Yeah, that
then,
might work too.
because Teresa's real knowledgeable and
Well, we just started talking about this the other day, and I thought I would bring it up at the board and see if we can maybe
She
tweak our
has-
procedures a
She
little bit.
has signed some of these.
A lot of
Not all. She's signed
residents,
some in the past.
a lot of residents probably don't know you gotta contact the DPW department either, so maybe you might want to put that in the newsletter that you send out.
Okay.
That would be a good idea.
All right, well, maybe we'll just put some refresher in there.
and I'm
I'll
sorry
make
for
that
your
motion
troubles.
that we give him the credit of $119.37. I believe that's what he's asking.
I'll support.
All right, it's been moved and supported that we give Robert, how do you say your last name, Robert?
Amici,
Amizi, a sewer credit of, what was it, 119?
11937.
11937. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Oda,
Yes.
Patsalis.
Yes.
Horn,
Yes,
Blair,
Yes.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Town, yes. Simons.
Yes. Motion carries, you got your credits.
thank you, I'm grateful to all.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you for
writing the
coming.
nice letter and everything. That was very informative.
Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
have a good one.
Okay, moving on to NB3. This was sent to us by the Little League in St. Clair. It's, we did Marine City, and we usually do the both of them.
Yep.
And they do a service for us by taking our kids from East China, and
I'll make a motion that we enter into a service agreement with the St. Clair Little League for the amount of $100.
I'll support.
okay, it's been moved and supported that we enter into the Little League agreement for $100, the city of St. Clair. Is there any further discussion?
I just have one question. This is the same amount we changed the Marine City
Right.
amount.
We
in
moved it
meeting.
up to 100.
It's the same, okay.
Yeah, we raised it.
Right, it was 50, went to 100.
Is there any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Blackstock.
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes,
Patsalis.
Yes.
Oda,
Yes.
Town, yes. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. All right, moving on to item number NB4. This is something that I think I talked to the board about, and I got a couple of prices here for you. It has to do with this logo behind me here. So I got some prices. The one that, of course, we liked is the one at the county. It was where I seen it at the county board meeting. I don't know if you ever watched the county board meetings on TV. It's the one that's right down in front of their desk. That one was $1,396. And then there's another one, but we don't know what that one looks like. This Chuck from Allegra, he went up and looked at that one we got, and it was $1,150. But this one here is right from the company that made that one at the county building. Now, if the board were, I mean, this is nothing we have to rush in and do. Would the board like me to go up there and take a picture of it, and then, so I can show you what I'm talking about? Would that help?
yeah, it'd probably help.
Are the signs the same size? Because the other one doesn't even give no dimensions, doesn't
No,
give
it's
anything.
Yeah, they're both supposed to be 36 inch, 3 foot around. With this logo like this.
We're not changing the logo.
No, not changing no
Propo-
logo.
proposal
Just putting
for-
this on that styrofoam, it's an inch and a half thick. It's like 3D, it can show the depth in it.
Are both of them an inch and a half thick?
Yeah,
Okay.
So the materials and the sizes and everything are exactly the same?
supposedly, yes. I only got the 2 quotes on it, but if you like, we can just table it, and I just thought about that tonight. I should have got some pictures of it, and we could have showed them. If the board, I mean, that's a lot of money to spend, $1,396.
Well, wouldn't we spend 1,100?
Well, I don't know, this guy here is a printer in Port Yorn. And-
Could we have you maybe take a picture of the other one and also call Allegra Printing and have him send us something that it's
Okay.
gonna look like, or something that he has that we can see what it is?
All right, what I did is I sent this guy, this Chuck Brzezinski, or whatever his name is, I sent him up there to the county, and he went up and looked at the one they got there, because at the time, I couldn't find out where they bought the one at the county. Well, in the meantime, we found out that this is the company that they bought it from.
Okay. So he looked at the one at the county then?
He went up and looked
Yeah,
at the
so-
one in the county, and he said we could pretty much duplicate that for this, so. But this would be if we went on our own and bought it, so it's $1,396. But I mean, I hate to say, go with this Allegra, and then find out it isn't what we really wanted,
It's not that much difference in price.
No, you're only talking $100 and some bucks.
200.
Yeah, maybe he can send a sketch or something on it.
Well,
He has really nothing on the one.
Of shop drawing.
okay, all right, let me do a little, let's just make a motion to table that, and then I'll get some more information on that.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the township logo.
I'll support.
All right, it's been moved and supported that we table the township logo sign for pending more information. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to, I put MERS on here. I don't know if you guys have had, and gals have had a chance to look at this MERS report.
Scares you,
What's that?
scares you.
These people not sure.
Well, I'm just telling you this, and then today we just got the report that we paid $300 for that we wanted. I was gonna give
Well, that came
Angela-
today?
Just came today, yeah, I just printed it off my printer today, this afternoon. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet, but I'll get you copies of that. But I guess what I'm saying with this MERS, if you read in here, what they're gonna do April of 18, I believe it's on page 7. Right now, we're paying, what are we paying here?
We're gonna
I
have
think
to-
it's 26.9% right now. And on April the 1st, 2018, they're going to automatically raise it to 29.66. Well, we're paying 26.59 right now. But what they're asking is this phase-in to take ourselves to 32.42 to try to cut into our deficit.
Otherwise, it's gonna get bigger if you don't.
Well, it already grew. What did we figure, Angel?
Yep.
400,000? Well, you can see it here.
You grew a couple percent there you grew from 65% to 63 to 65, 2% already
Yeah, we lost 2%.
in 1 year.
And that's just 1 year, like Don said.
The bottom of page 7, it shows that according to MERS, to accelerate over 10 years, we would be start to pay right now 41,000. But we're now paying 26, so that's a pretty good jump.
Yes, it is a jump.
And-
But it looks like it's necessary.
And if we do that jump, that's something we're gonna have to budget for that because, but how else are we gonna get it paid down? I mean, we're working on it through negotiations and that, but it's not enough.
If you don't do it, you're gonna go in the hole more, so.
Yeah, it's every community,
Gonna have to do
community in
something.
the state is in this shape.
What's that?
The scary part is every community, just
Oh, right.
about every community in the state is in the same boat.
Well, the state's 29 billion.
The county is way up there. I forget what the county is.
Can I make a suggestion? That, we have that Sue Farabee, is it? Angela, do you remember that name? She's the MERS representative. I would like to get her here to explain what going to this 32, and is it actually going to catch us up?
And how long? I mean, I'd
Yeah,
like to know
I
how
mean,
long.
She has told me before that she would be willing to come to a meeting.
I think that would be a very good idea because, I mean, we're even contemplating on going away from mirrors.
Right.
So, again, as a board, we need to hear what she has to say to see if we're going the right direction to just dissolve mirrors once we pay them off.
And it'll be a long time before we get them paid off at $3.5 million.
Right.
That's right.
Well, here don't they estimate that it'll take 10 years if we go with 41,000.
Or 20 if it's 27.
Look at that percentage.
Or 27,000 over 20 years.
But that's not counting it going up anymore either. I mean, that's just telling you what it is right now.
That's a
It's
scary
going up
part.
2% a year. So in 10 years, it's gone up 20%, so add 20% to that.
You're never gonna get
You're
caught
not
up.
gonna gain anything.
See, that's the problem. It's gonna be very, very difficult to get caught up, and I think the Sue might be able to explain that a little bit better to us.
What I'm confused at is if you read in that, on page 7 there, that graph, in April 1 of 2017, if we paid 30.27, we would do the catch-up. Now, a year later, we're up, like you say, 2.5%.
Right.
2.2%.
Yep.
So does that mean we gotta keep increasing it every year?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it
That's-
sounds like.
Well, the same with the employee contribution rate needs to go up also.
Sounds like you're gonna have to increase the rate of inflation.
So I'll make a point to get a hold of her. Contact that Sue, see if she can come to our meeting. I mean, if we implemented this, I would want to do it before the end of the year, so we can budget for it for the next year, because we got hit with that last increase, and we didn't budget, that's why we had to do a budget amendment to catch that up, so. But I wanted to make all the board aware of what this is. If you spend some time reading this, you'll see that
I looked at it a little bit, it scared me.
we're going the wrong way here. And if you read that other one here on page 13, they're talking about if the market, they're assuming they're at a 7.75%, that's what they're gonna make.
That's pretty generous.
But they
That's
may
very
be down
generous.
to, they may be down to 3 or 2, like they were in the recession. So, okay, I guess we don't need no action on that, I'll get more information on that one.
Do we need to table it?
Yeah, we can make a motion, I'll make a motion and we table it.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we table the MERS to get a representative here. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the Hydro Corp Cross Connection Program. This is for the water plant. We have to have these cross connections inspected annually. This company has been doing it. We being our water superintendent, thought maybe we could get an employee to do this, train an employee to do this. It's a pretty big deal. And that's why he brought it to me now. He seems to think our best bet is to continue with our contract with this Hydro Corp for, I believe it's $3,096. And they do go out and check all these, and the Cross Connection program is a big program. I mean, we've got especially when we're dealing with industrial. We don't want to get cross-contaminated, so.
So he would like to extend it another 12-month period then.
Yeah,
Is this the same company that did it last year?
yes, it is.
Excuse me.
I believe it is.
If we take it over, is there a liability issue?
I would think.
A big
How
one.
many of them cross connections we have in the township, Larry?
I think there's like 20-some.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
All your industry, the Edison, the hospital, the factories, farms have them, for animals.
Yeah.
We don't want to suck out of water troughs and, yeah, we gotta.
What was the cost last year, Larry? Was it this, did you know if it
I
went up
don't
or?
know.
Okay.
He said it was pretty much in line with what they had. It looks like we've been paying $258 a month.
Right. Well, it's something we have to do,
Well,
so.
if they're checking all of them, that's quite a few, so.
Right.
It says 25 of them.
What's that?
It says 25 initial inspections.
25, is that what there is?
That's what it says. And
Yeah,
it's-
I'm just
They've got
guessing at 20.
specialized software that they use and generate the reports. I couldn't even imagine we could come close training an employee to do all of that for $3,000.
And then buying the software.
And then, like Greg says, then it's the responsibility, the liability. Yeah, I think we should.
I think just leave it where it's at. I'll make a motion that we renew the contract with HydroCore for a period of 12 months at a total cost, or a monthly cost of $258 and a total contract cost of $3,096.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we
That'll be done.
enter into an agreement with HydroCorp Cross Connection Program for $3,096 or $258 a month. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Pat Salas,
Yes.
Boda,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Blackstock,
Yes.
Town, yes. Simons.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, moving on to new business 7, a quote to modify the lift station alarm system. If you remember, a little over a year ago, we had a problem with the lift station, I believe it was at the hospital, and it didn't register. It was an equipment failure, an act of God, I guess you could call it. This is some kind of an additional backup to this. And what Blaine went out and got, this will be hooked into our SCADA system at the sewer plant. It'll monitor all the lift stations. It'll tell if there's no pump hasn't run in, I don't know, what is it, a half hour or something? It'll send an alarm so somebody can go check.
Well, it sends a signal. We set the we set the length of time and
Right.
inches of water.
I told the DPW supervisor that I would bring it to the board. I think it's something we should do. It was a little more than I wanted, okay, on my own, so.
Is this who monitors it now? Is Michigan Industrial Controls?
They are, and that's why we only have one bid, because they do all the SCADA system. They have been our exclusive SCADA
Okay.
person.
Yep.
That's why there's only one bid, and I asked that question too, Angela, why
Okay.
and to get somebody else in there, and then we'd be crossing with different.
Yeah, no, if
I
they're
think we're
familiar with the
better.
program and they've been with it, no sense changing.
They're the
it.
ones that put that whole new SCADA system in when we did the sewer plant.
And then it looks like they're doing 10 of them, so you break that down, you're on less than $500 a piece.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg with these lift stations. We still
Oh,
have a lot of
yes.
work to do on the
Oh,
lift
you got
stations.
that right.
Once we get asset management in place and find out what
Right.
we got, and we get our new engineering company, I think that's gonna be our first big project goal, would be to start addressing these lift stations. I think we've not addressed them enough. They've been running, we just checked the one, I believe Blaine did on Urban Drive. He had the 2 pumps tested by Kennedy Pump, and the one pump is running at 50% and the other one's running at 40. And that's why when we get a big, well, they're wore out, they've been there since 63.
Yeah.
And nobody's done anything.
Right.
I mean, we've been really fortunate to go that long.
And the wells are way too small now,
Right, and that's the other thing, we want to go to a submersible. So what Blaine is getting some prices on right now on the Urban Drive is to put a new pump in the dry side, but it'll be a submersible pump that if we decide to change the pits to wet pits, that'll fit right in. We'll be able to use that pump. And then the other thing is Kennedy Pump has backup pumps in stock. So we wouldn't have to buy a lot of backup pumps. And if there was a problem, we could just call them, they'd come, switch the pumps out, put the one in stock. Where the one we have down here at Record Road, the big one, they don't have a backup pump for that. That's one where we're talking about, we may have to buy one. But I think this is a must that we gotta be able to know what these things are doing. I don't wanna take a chance on any more.
No,
Not that it was our fault the last time, but
you can't lose them or we'll be
this is
plugging
more
basements.
backup to what, I think it's a small price to pay for that.
I'll make a motion that we enter into an agreement with Michigan Industrial Controls to modify the lift station alarm system for a total cost of $4,626.50.
I'll support.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to enter into this agreement for 462050 with Michigan Industrial Controls for new monitoring for the lift stations. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Horn,
Yes.
Batsalis,
Yes.
Loda,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Blackstock,
Yes.
Town, yes, Simons.
Yes, motion carries. We'll enter into that agreement. Moving on to announcements, I don't really have any announcements today, other than it's been a nice summer.
Too much rain.
What's that?
Too much rain.
Yeah, a lot of rain, a lot of rain. So we'll move on to members' comments. Mr. Horn.
Yes, I understood that Betty Ann Conley passed away
Yeah.
today, and I just wish the family well and rest in peace, I guess. But she was 95 years old. I read that today.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pascal?
Our bathroom, did we ever get our ladies' bathroom done?
Well, we picked out the tile.
Whoa, I guess
We
that's.
picked out the tile, I called the contractor, and he assures me it'll be done by the end of July.
Oh, okay, all right. That's all I have. It's one of those
Mr.
things that are
Bowler.
on my things at the desk, it's on there, I just want to get it off the plane.
What's
You
that?
got after me.
I just have it on my desk, and it's one of the things that we're supposed to get done, I just want to get it off the plane.
Yeah, I do too. I've been calling.
Yeah, I have a couple of items. One is what Don was talking about with Betty Ann Conley. When I first came on the township board in '84, she was a township clerk and did a great job.
Yeah.
Her minutes were like reading a book when she got done with them. So I don't know if it's too late, if the township could send some, I think she's being buried tomorrow, I believe.
See what?
Wednesday.
Wednesday she's being buried.
Showing
Be
me.
shown.
Maybe the township could send a bouquet of flowers, to the funeral home, a spray of flowers from the township itself.
Yeah, I think we'll have to make a board action, and can we do that?
We could do it like we did it before with Jack, just everybody throws in $10, $15, and we have a little kitty. I mean, it doesn't,
Do it on our own, you mean? Out of our flower fund?
yeah, out of our flower fund, I mean,
Okay. I can do it out of the flower fund. Some of these new members might not even be in the flower fund.
yeah.
I'll
They're
kick
probably
in.
looking at me like, what is he
I'll
talking
kick
about?
in.
I was just gonna ask you about that.
Because I think it's pretty much depleted, but
Yeah.
I'll subsidize it until we get another collection.
And one other item I was asking, has anybody really looked at the bike path? I haven't looked at the one from Recor South to Marine City, and I haven't looked at it from going back and off Recor and everywhere else. But from Bree Road down to Recor, I see it when we're driving past there. I see a lot of areas where we got grass growing through the blacktop. And maybe it's about time we have a crew go in there and a company
Spray
go
it.
in there and do like they did the last time we had it here. They dug those patches of grass out of the blacktop and sealed them again. But
And that's, I just had that discussion last week with Blaine, because I asked him, we have a line item in the budget for the bike path. And I said, I want to get going on it. We usually do it in November. It's like one of the last things they do before they shut the asphalt plants
Yeah,
down.
and it's bad.
We seem to get the best prices, and I told him to get going. He seemed to think, after taking a tour, that he wants to do a lot of seal coating this year, which would take care of what you're talking about. So you'll be hearing some more of that within the next month or so.
a number of years ago, we had a company come in and they were supposed to dig out the grass that was coming
Really?
through. And the crew they had here wasn't doing a great job. Well, the company that had hired
What did
these-
they do, put rubber on it then, or?
some sort of a cover. But this company came in and said that, these guys were supposed to be digging the grass out, weren't doing a very good job. So he was getting rid of them and bringing in the diversity team.
I would think we should spray it first before we start digging it out.
So,
I'll check into that.
Larry, could you burn it off?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe with a torch, yeah, you could do that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, with that,
Might be more environmentally friendly. Okay, yeah, I put bike path weeds. I'll see. Anything else you got?
nope, that's what I have, thank you.
Mr. Town?
Eggs and issues in the back of the packet. Is this a breakfast that, of interest?
Well, I just put it in there, I put FYI on there, and, it come across my desk. If anybody wants to go, you can talk to these people, Senator Pavlo, Bowers, Hornberg, and Rendas. If anybody wants to go, that's the dates and the time, and it's a $15 charge.
Wichita Township will gladly pay.
Probably will. Where's it at? It's up at the Doubletree, it's up at the bridge, up by the
Yes,
Blue Water
the
Bridge.
new convention center.
Nothing further.
Nothing further? Okay. Okay, Mr. Buxton?
I have nothing.
Ms. Blair?
oh, of course I have something.
Good.
I wanted to congratulate Mr. Fortner and Mr. McGregor, who won our fishing tackle box and rod and reel, and then our gift certificate, which was donated by anglers. Our open house was very successful, and we have our open house the second Saturday of the month through the summer.
This is, excuse me,
Historical?
this is historical. Okay.
Yes. The second Saturday of the month from 1 to 4 at the Red Brick Schoolhouse. Thank you.
That's it. Well, it comes down to me. And I'd like to send my regrets to Betty Conley's family. She did an awful lot for this area. I mean, she was, if you read her obituary, I mean, she was in the city, she worked in the townships, she was in the Marine City Scholar Fund, and I'm sure she worked the old newsboys, but she was a very lovely person, and she lived in the township for a lot of years before moving back to Marine City. Okay, a couple things I got. Mr. Boda.
Uh-oh, what'd I do?
Finally got a hold of Mr. Kurt Weston. He assures me that he will get a hold of MDOT to take care of those no driving on the shoulder signs.
I think they might be gone.
Are they?
When I came in, I just, for the heck of it, I said, I'm gonna take a look, and I didn't see it. Maybe I'll check going home, but I think it might be gone. But,
There's two of
He
them.
might, I called him a week ago.
oh, there's two of
There's
them?
two of them.
Well, I think
One's
Kathy
almost in your
called,
front yard, isn't it?
Well, it's a ways, yeah.
Kathy said, she told me before the meeting, she had called the county about it.
I
County
talked to
says
the road
It's not
commission.
the responsibility.
No, it's MDOT.
It's MDOT because of the state highway.
While Kurt's putting out signs, he should put some more 25-mile on Point Drive, because they drive down there twice that fast.
No, we should put the sheriff
I'll tell you what, he could get rich.
on. Speeding on Point Drive, I'll write that down. We can put that,
You're in trouble. You're in
They
trouble.
fly down there. He walks it.
okay, I can handle that. Another thing, for the people that live there on Bryson Lane and Woodland, we got the weeds cut back on the sides, and I drove down there, it was a problem. I mean, the foliage is growing so fast this year that the cars were hitting couldn't pass there in a couple spots, and the end of Woodland down there looked like a tunnel. And so I contracted the county to go in with their brush hog that's on the side, because we can't, it's all water, you can't get in there. So I don't know if you looked at that, Mr.
Yeah,
Bowler?
I was down there the other day.
So we got that done. I've been getting calls from a person that would like to be our new code enforcer. I know we made Mr. Kearns our temporary code enforcer, and I think somebody brought it up at one of the previous meetings. I'm going to talk to Kearns tomorrow and see if, this guy told me that Kearns told him to call me, so maybe Kearns doesn't want this job. And if he doesn't, then we can either put it out or we can hire this guy. This guy's got 20 years' experience in like 6 or 7 different communities. So maybe he's what we need, I don't know. The other thing with the seasonal workers, how do we get them to get more money? Is that something that I can do as a supervisor, or does that have to go to the board? Right now, we're paying our seasonal workers, they start at $10 an hour, and then every year they're here, they get $1 an hour up to $12. Well, we've got a couple of them, we got one that's been here for 5 or 6 years. He's a great, great worker. I'd just like to reward him from some way, but I don't know, without coming to the board, how do I do this?
I have to agree with you, Larry. He does a very good job.
Oh, he's the best.
Is he at $12 right now then?
Mhm.
Well, why don't we can always put it in
Do
there,
that.
$1 an hour more, and then just say if they're here for more than 5 years, you can revisit it and give them more money.
Put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Okay. All right, I can do that. And in the meantime, I've checked with the Park Commission on how they do it, and I think we want to be uniform of some. And for somebody to stay here 5 years as a seasonal worker is.
And I'll tell you
Right.
what, he's a very, very good
Yeah.
worker.
So, I mean, all right, I'll put it on the next meeting. So that's all I had. So,
Can I say something? I know, I should have done it under public
well,
comment, but.
go up and, we like to have you speaking to
Oh, great.
everybody.
Boy, you just missed the adjournment.
I know. I won't take long. For anybody who's wondering, the sign on the corner, our park manager is working on that. We want to replace that, work on through the winter, finding somebody to replace that if there's anybody out there that's interested in that job. But she's going to paint it soon. They've been working on sanding it. And I'd like to thank Jerry and Marie St. James. They came last Tuesday and put on an archery program for our summer recreation. They spent the whole morning, brought all their equipment, brought 5 or 6 4-H members with them, and they've done it once before, and they just did a wonderful job. The kids loved it. They donated their time. I'm sure they needed time off of work for that. And I just wanted to recognize them for having done that, so.
Hey Cindy, on that sign that you're looking for, I mean,
Yeah.
could we maybe contact a Boy Scout group or something like that? They might be interested in something to earn their wings or
Project.
whatever, a project for them.
Our big sign on the corner,
Yeah, it might,
um,
or would that be too big for them?
Maybe even to paint it.
Does it just need painting, or does it?
oh no, it's falling apart, but
Falling
right
apart.
now it's gonna get painted,
Dry
and
rotted?
through the winter,
The sign's
look
not
into
that
doing
old.
So we
something
need a
with
new
it.
sign.
Yes, we need a new sign, and we have some options. Greg gave me one company. I believe Dave Kaufman built that sign the last time it was done. It's in the history
Uh-huh.
but I don't know if he's doing that sort of thing anymore. It's something we can look into, you know. We want it to last for a long time. It's gotta have the breakaway, bottom to it, so because it has been hit by cars, I guess, in the past.
It might be too much for that, but I just.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We could,
Okay.
if there is a group interested, they could contact us. So,
And the park looks very nice. I toured it Sunday.
thank you. Our park manager does a really good job, and the workers, they try really hard. With all the rain we've had this summer, it's been quite a job to keep the grass
Yeah.
down over there.
And it seems like they're working together well with the DPW, and I think we're getting a lot of stuff done. Okay, if nobody else has anything else, I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn at 8:24.
Support.
Been moved and supported that we adjourn at 8:24. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.